little green book.
Okay, welcome everybody. Thank you for being with us tonight. This is the Millennial Health Systems Fall Update for 2014. And there are a lot of things that we have been working on the last few months that we want to share with you tonight. And hopefully you'll find them as exciting as we have. First, I want to let you know we've just finished a complete rework of our board, the main driver board for the device. As with any new product, there are always a few things you'd like to do different if you could start over, so we did. But the great news is that in a year and several months that these have been on the market, we haven't had a single failure of a board so far, which is pretty remarkable. But some of the changes that we made were for heat purposes, for energy purposes, which will give even more longevity to the device, to the SpectraBrite. So we have begun that process, finished it, and the new boards are now ready to go in production. So that will be in the unit starting in probably November. We'll have those ready to go. Also in the last year, we've learned this, that many of the things that we had hoped would be true concerning the product are in fact seeming to support and provide the results that we've been looking for. We have also just finished our FDA submission. Took a lot longer than we thought. It's now in, and we're waiting on the FDA to get back to us about any questions they might have. We hope when we hear from them, they'll simply say that we have been cleared to use the device under the terms we submitted. So we'll keep you updated on that as it occurs, as we move forward. And a few other things that we have discovered in the process of this last year of research, development, testing, and so on. We have for 10 years or so had a product that we developed and market ourselves. And it is a topical relief cream that you apply to your joints, muscles when you have aches and pains. We thought that probably using that along with the SpectraBrite would bring some additional benefit in light penetration, in vasodilation, in effectiveness, and so on. So what we have done is we've modified the product slightly to make it compatible with light therapy. And we have been testing it here for several months and found that indeed it definitely seems to increase the effectiveness of the light, giving us better penetration, better joint relief, pain relief, and so on. So that product was formerly called Nature's Secret, our product, and we are now rebranding that as SpectraGel, and we'll have that. It's available now. Some of our dealers have already tried it with similar results as I've just shared with you. So the SpectraGel is available. It comes in a jar like this. It's just a gel that you topically apply. Has emu oil, tea tree oil, ginger root, MSM, a lot of things that are in it that help that process along. So we'd encourage those of you who have not tried it yet to just get a jar and see if you get the similar results that we have been receiving here. So that's one thing. Secondly, we have also found that if you are trying to, let me give this example. If you're trying to build a house and you have a lot of blocks and no mortar, you have bricks, no mortar, and you just stack those bricks hoping that they will stay in place, everybody knows that the first storm that comes along, those bricks will be on the ground because it's mortar that holds the bricks together. We've also found in our research the last year that something that greatly increases the effectiveness of light therapy is if you have a good source of minerals to draw from. I'll just read you something here. This is from the USDA. This says USDA studies show that 25 to 85% decline in minerals in the foods we eat. A 25 to 80% decline in minerals in the food we eat. Now, minerals are the building blocks for healthy tissue, for healing processes in the body. If you don't have good minerals to pull from to rebuild connective tissue and so on, you don't get the same results. So they've said we're 25 to 80% decline in minerals in the food we eat. The United States document 2641936 states this from the USDA. The alarming fact is that foods, fruits, vegetables, and grains now being raised on millions of acres of land no longer contain necessary levels of essential minerals. They're starving us no matter how much we eat. Well, that might explain why many people eat and still feel hungry, why they eat and eat empty calories and gain weight, lots of things. So this is the government's own research and studies that show this. So we've also found, and I looked for this for years, we have found a complement product that we call Garden Nectar, and it has 50, 60, 65 minerals, 11 amino acids, and 7 vitamins that are in the product. And it provides the building blocks so that when light therapy hits connective tissue or damaged areas, and it begins to call for the healing agents to build collagen, to stimulate ATP, and all these things that we know to be true about light therapy. If there are no minerals to pull from, then you have no mortar to hold the bricks together. So we found that in the last several months, as we've had several people testing the minerals, that not only do they get better nails and better hair and better skin, but the light therapy seems to take hold quicker and better because you have the necessary nutrients available for the body to start to rebuild and heal. So we wanted to make you aware of those two things, Garden Nectar and Nature's Secret, so that if you're finding that you would like for healing to occur a little faster, a little better, it may be a nutritional problem as well as a damaged cellular problem or an injury problem. Wanted to let you know the FDA has been submitted. We have these 2 additional products. The product, according to all that I'm hearing from you, is performing wonderfully. But we've noticed that there's been a drop in the number of testimonials being reported to us, and we would like for you to continue that. We have a large number on file, but we have found by doing the research and correlation of these testimonials that it's helping us dial in and get more specific about what to recommend and how to go and so on. We have just engaged a gentleman who is going to be writing some additional programming for the units. We found that the Tesla frequencies seem to work very well. That's your default program. So what we're going to do is to take those same frequencies and apply them to each of the basic 6 colors that we have available. Now, they can be applied to any of them, but the programming would be a little difficult. So we're going to program the Tesla frequencies into those 6 basic color programs, and that should be completed sometime in November. We also have, let's see here. We've also found, oh, this is so exciting. We have a neuropsychologist. A neuropsychologist is someone who studies the brain and the interrelated functions of the neurological system. And he happens to have, I'll share his name with you later, but he happens to have a system in his office where he can take brain scans, live pictures of the brain as stimulation is applied and areas of the brain respond and are awakened or come alive or become active. He has been studying traumatic brain injuries. He's been studying Alzheimer's and dementia. He's been studying Down syndrome, lots of areas of brain problem and function. And he has shared with me his preliminary findings in using the SpectraBrite, and I wanted to show you what he does. He'll take one of the light pads and put it right behind and above the ear on either side, and uses red basic only, no pulsing, just red basic only. And he'll do that for 30 minutes, 2 sessions, red basic or manual red. So in applying the red light, because it penetrates much deeper, he's finding that the brain is responding extremely well to this approach. And here's what he shared with me, that after one 30-minute treatment, he has seen a 15% increase in cognitive brain function. Not, you can remember where your keys are and do you think you're doing better. These are from actual brain scans that he takes and applies the light therapy before and after, and can look at the difference in the response that the brain has. So his study and research has now confirmed that light therapy will be able to help stroke victims, dementia patients, Alzheimer patients, and so on. We are going to submit this to the FDA when he has finished his research. This isn't something that we can just carte blanche go out and start saying, but he is getting enough preliminary positive results that he's going to help us with the FDA submission. He also found that there was a 15% increase in brain function. He also found that there was a higher response in people who had positive outlooks. And he said, I found that most of those people who have positive outlooks are believers. And he said that if I have a believer and a non-believer side-by-side comparison, even though both have a positive response, the believer has a 75% greater response than the non-believer. I found that very interesting. So while we don't know what all that means yet, because this is, again, very preliminary research, he has agreed to come on live with us in November and a follow-up meeting where we will spend an entire evening just talking about his research, his findings, how he does what he does, why he does what he does. And he's in the process of moving right now. He's just become the head of the Department of Neuropsychology in a hospital in Arizona. And when he gets settled, he'll let me know, and we'll have him on for another one of these sessions where we will spend the entire evening just talking about the improvement in cognitive brain function by using light therapy. So I'm very, very excited about that. So if also we are going to be sharing with you in the near future some research that we're doing on type 2 diabetes. And I won't go into that much tonight, other than to say that we have found some very positive and encouraging results in a therapy that we are testing. And probably when we have the neuropsychologist on, I'll bring you that information as well. We have also had a pretty wonderful breakthrough in taking the light pads and creating a wireless environment. Now, what I mean by that is we have a sample product in the office already, a prototype that allows us to use a light pad without any wires. And we're negotiating with the developers now, and I'll be meeting with them at the end of October in New York, negotiating to put all of our frequencies and programs, lay them in the wireless device. So we think by as early as maybe Christmas, that we will be able to announce that we have created a wireless environment. Oh, interesting. Okay. I just had a report while we've been online here that 75% of liver aging spots are gone after 6 months of using the garden nectar. That's great. Heavy brown scaly spots gone from the head and the face. So having the right nutrients is as important as having the right therapy, because if your body has nothing to work with, then you're not going to get the results that you are hoping for. Because as with anything, light therapy is a wonderful and creative gift that God has given us, but it's not the cure all to end all. It doesn't solve everything. So be aware of the garden nectar and of the Nature's Secret, and please keep the testimonies coming in. We will announce to you very soon about the FDA, what you can say, what you can't say. I do know this, that devices are not FDA approved, they're FDA cleared. So go ahead and start training yourself in your thinking when we get this information in. that we will have an FDA cleared device, and we think it will be classified as a type 2 light therapy device. We're hopeful that it will be a type 2 because it gives us a lot more latitude in what we can do and how we can use the device. That's what we've asked for. That's what we've submitted. So if you have any questions, you can send them in to the email that you were notified by when we sent you the link this morning. But I'm very excited in this respect. We have a very stable platform. We have found a lot of great success with the frequencies, and now that we're going to apply those into multiple colors, I believe that we're going to see even more targeted effectiveness, because you have to remember that a lot of the work we're doing now is uncharted territory as far as what works best on which issue. So the more that feedback that you can give us, the better we will be able to start targeting those frequencies and colors and get the more effective responses that we all hope for. I think that probably covers most of the new information. The other thing that I would like to encourage you is, some of you we haven't heard from in a while. We're not sure if you are still interested in being dealers. If you are, please contact us and let us know. If not, then we're going to probably start looking for some more representation in areas that you may be, because the response is just too good to not have someone out telling this story and singing this song. The responses have just been really, really encouraging. So we want to make sure that we get that word out to as many people as we can. All right. If you have questions and you want to submit them, there are two purposes in this update this evening. One is to get you kind of current on where the SpectraBrite and that technology is. We think that by January, all of these new changes and pieces and parts are going to be available. But there's also another component we want to talk about this evening, and I'm probably going to take just a few minutes here and pause so that we can link this up as a separate video. So I'm going to put this on pause for a few minutes. If you'll give me 3 to 5 minutes and log back in, just like you did the first time, there will be a new live feed up and available. And I want to talk to you about our vitamins and minerals and a really wonderful breakthrough we have in that. So in the meantime, continue to send your questions, and we can answer those on the second session if we need to. All right, thanks. I'll see you in just a minute.